What do you do when a design client sends you a logo or website or other design that they created with AI and asks you to fix it, recreate it, or even incorporate it into their design project? This has very rapidly become an extremely common issue that designers are dealing with, and I'm going to tell you exactly what to do to navigate this situation. If you don't know me, I'm Alyssa, and I help ambitious, self-employed designers ditch the fake it till you make it mindset and work smoother with their clients. I recently created an entire training about how to prevent your clients from using AI to do things like answer branding questionnaires, send design feedback, and even edit your design proofs. That whole training is linked in the video description below. But in this video, we're talking about what to do when a client or prospective client asks you to fix or recreate an AI-generated logo or design. First things first, you need to decide where you stand on this situation. What do you want to do? Whether or not you want to offer services to help fix AI-generated logos for clients is entirely up to you. It may be beneficial for you to be flexible and work with these clients. There may even be situations where, honestly, you just need the money. And that's totally fine. That's your decision. And if you choose to do this, there are some important policies and communications that you'll want to put in place to protect yourself and set expectations with your clients, which we'll get into in a moment. But I also want to say, if you don't want to touch AI-generated designs with a 10-foot pole, you don't have to. You absolutely can have a policy that you don't fix or recreate AI logos. That is also totally fine. That is personally my stance on it currently. And if this is your stance as well, then there are some ways to communicate this to the client without offending or scolding them, which may either convert them into a custom design client or at least leave the door open for them to come back to you for custom design once their AI design has run its course. Let's start with some important ways to protect yourself. Now, I'm about to talk about contracts, and so I need to give a disclaimer that I am not a lawyer and this is not legal advice. I am a designer. If you want official legal advice for your design business, please consult an attorney. But regardless of if you're working with clients that have AI logos or not, you should have these important clauses in your contract. One, all designs that you create are your own original concepts, and to the best of your knowledge, do not infringe on anyone else's copyright. Two, all project assets provided by the client, including logos, photos, copy, or anything else, are either owned by the client or the client has the right to use them. Three, your limitation of liability clause should state that you cannot be held liable for any infringement caused by the client's use of the designs that you create. If you have no idea where to start with these clauses, I highly recommend the Contract Shop, which is a collection of lawyer-drafted contract clauses, and it also includes a course on how to build your contract and a community where you can ask a lawyer questions, and it includes an entire library of AI-related contract clauses. And all of this is a one-time fee for a lifetime subscription to all of it and all the future updates. It seriously is a steal, and I use the Contract Club myself, and I have my affiliate link down in the video description for you to check out and purchase for yourself. One other thing I want to add is that you should also have business liability insurance. As a solo freelance designer, you are a business owner. It doesn't matter if you're a sole proprietor or an S Corp. I personally feel that with all of the time and hard work and investments that I have spent on my business, it is not worth the risk to not have insurance. So I highly recommend that as well if you don't have it yet. All right, so next let's talk about what to do if you have decided that you would like to help a client out when they come to you with an AI generated logo. If your stance is that you'd be willing to fix it or recreate it, then you need to manage the client's expectations. In every situation in business, clear, honest, transparent communications are essential and will go a long way for fostering a positive relationship with that client, both during the project and after it's done. So in order to set clear expectations, you need to let the client know about the implications of using an AI-generated logo, even if you fix it. Remember, as designers, we understand that AI doesn't create, it generates, and therefore you can't own or trademark an AI-generated logo. But clients are not designers. They don't keep up to date on what's going on in our industry. Sometimes things that seem like common sense to us are not to clients. So I say this because the client isn't silly or stupid for not thinking about this. They just don't know. And it's your job as the designer that they hire to make sure that they do know. So you definitely need to let the client know that just because you're recreating the logo using your design software doesn't mean that they will be able to trademark that design, because it was still originally created by AI. and it wasn't your original concept. The reason that you need to make this clear is because you want to avoid a situation where the client goes to trademark that logo later and then gets mad when they can't because you recreated it and they blame you. You want to avoid that. The next thing I recommend if you're going to take on a project to fix an AI design is to do a bit of education around the value of design. There is a huge opportunity here to help the client understand more about what you can do that AI can't and why that's important. So you can let the client know that while you're recreating an existing design, it's not a quick and easy process. It's still going to take you a good amount of time to redraw that logo. If you need to vectorize a complex logo, that's going to take some work. You may also be adding different logo variations like horizontal, vertical, round. If AI only gave them one, you are probably going to be converting it to black and white. You're going to be creating a proper color palette with print and web colors. You're going to be exporting different file types. That all takes time and you need to charge accordingly for that. So make sure the client understands that. And this is not to scold them, it's to educate. And you truly never know. By hearing that, they may even decide to just scrap the AI logo and work with you on custom design. Okay, so at this point, we've covered some important steps to take if you want to help clients fix AI designs. But like I said, if you don't, that is also totally okay, and that's currently my personal stance as well. So I want to reframe this situation a bit because it can help it feel less frustrating when you're approached by a client that has generated an AI logo or design. This is a really similar situation to a client sending over a sketch that they drew and asking you to bring it to life. That's something that has happened to me a handful of times. Or they have a logo that was started by another designer and maybe they want you to finish it. So here's how you can explain that you don't fix AI generated logos and why without being rude about it. Step one is to cite your contract. Earlier in the video, I talked about some important contract clauses. When your contract states that all of the designs that you create are, to the best of your knowledge, original and not infringing on anyone else's work, that alone can be the reason that you have to decline a project fixing an AI logo, because you would be breaking your own contract if you did it. And this is the exact same reason that I cite for why I can't fix or finish a logo that was created or started by another designer. Step two is to let the client know that as a strategic designer, you only take on projects working on brand new concepts. You can tell the client that that's the only way they would be able to own and trademark their logo, and that when they have a strategic original design, that will help them better attract their target audience, it will last longer than an AI logo, and it will prevent issues like not having the right logo files or their logo printing blurry. You can say that going through your full custom process is the only way that you can provide the high quality of service that you're known for, and that recreating an AI logo would be doing their business a disservice. In my experience, I have explained this all to clients in the past when they have brought me a sketch that they want me to bring to life. I usually say that if they have an idea, we can discuss it at their strategy meeting and talk about if it makes sense to incorporate it into their logo. But if they just have an exact sketch and they want me to just design it exactly as they envision it, I'm not the best fit for that type of work. When you explain all of this to the client, they might actually appreciate your approach and decide, you know what, I'm gonna scrap my AI logo and work with you on custom design. And that's great. There is also a real possibility that they might not want custom design. They might just want their AI logo. And in that case, they're simply not a good fit for you at this time. And that's fine. It doesn't mean they're a bad client. It just means that you're not for them right now. All that you're doing is letting the client know how you work and how they can hire you. And then the ball is in their court for if they want to move forward. And if they don't, you truly never know if and when that client might come back to you in the future for custom design work. And that's why it's always best to respond professionally and kindly and explain all of this in an approachable way that doesn't shame the client. So we've covered what to do when a client sends an AI generated logo that they want you to fix, but what do you do when a client who is actively working with you uses AI to generate design feedback, generate answers to project questionnaires, or maybe even uploads your design proofs to AI and makes edits themselves? Well, fortunately, when they are a paying client, there is a lot more opportunity to stop these things from happening and regain control in your design process. I have an entire video training about exactly what to do in those scenarios in order to proactively prevent these things before they even start. And it requires a lot more than just adding clauses to your contract. The training is linked in the description below. If you want to learn how to approach these situations with both firm boundaries and kindness so that you can maintain control in your design business and maintain positive relationships with your clients, you'll want to check it out. Thanks for watching. If you've got any questions, please drop them in a comment below.